Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Road to Matoran channel. Finally looking at the final Ninjago Summer 22 set review. We know it's way in December now, time of recording, but here we are. Now looking at set number 71775, Nia's Samurai X MECH, and this set has piece count is 1003, minifigs is 8, and it retails for $119, clocking this at the biggest set of the wave, only bigger by like 14 pieces compared to the Lloyd's Dragon mech thing. It's not a mech, it's just Dragon, Ultra Dragon, but it really has 14 pieces more than that, so it's technically the biggest set, and it's the most no, it's not the most expensive. No, the Lloyd's Dragon is the most expensive, which is crazy, but that's not even the biggest set. Now we're left with the big, huge Titan mech. Reminds me of something from Bionicle back in the day with, you know, just the Titans in general. But all around, a really good looking set. I like the color scheme. I like the articulation it has, because that's a definite pro, because it actually has knees. Oh my goodness, we're breaking ground. We have knees in the set. Didn't have knees in the last set in Ninjago that had knees was the what was it, the Zane mech. I do have that set. I don't feel like bringing it out but to compare it, but that is the only other set I can think of in recent memory that has knees, that Legacy Zane Titan mech. But yes, it has knees, and it actually has, if you can focus, it actually has the old Bionicle, I'll say new age Bionicle pieces on ball joints, like the Bionicle hands, if you remember, it's on ball joints, and it is covered up by these big windscreen pieces they use in the Seabound wave, which I think is really cool, because it's like this black piece with the gold trimming on it. I think that looks really nice. That's a really nice touch in my opinion on that. And also it has a lot of flaps. Like, it has these flaps up here, and then it has these in the back, which is kind of weird. I don't really get that. It's kind of awkward to even move around, so I don't know if I'm too crazy on that. I mean, it's okay for what it is. I guess just to bulk it out, but I personally don't like it. But something I do like is these gold ingot pieces on the back, where, you know, it's kind of like your stairs. It kind of goes down like 3 times, and it's really nice and, you know, rigid looking. Makes it look really, give it a nice detailed look in the back. So if you, for whatever reason, if you display this facing backwards, it won't look like just they didn't try at all. So that's really nice, and so that's good. And it has these weird transitioning, moving shoulder pads. You can angle them to shoot them out with like a launcher thing, but I do not have one. I actually use them all, so I didn't fight finding them, so it can shoot out. So that's the function of that. But you can move the shoulder pads, whatever, if you wish, which I don't know if I really want to do all that, but you can. Also, it has this weird X in the front, which I know it's supposed to be Samurai X mech, but I don't get the X, this awkward looking X. It's like the one thing about the color scheme I don't like is this big red X. I think it could have been better if they made this maybe like gray or something, or black. I think it would look really nice, but the red, it's kind of throwing the whole color scheme off, in my opinion. That's just me, but I think the red is just kind of awkward looking. I'm not a huge fan of that. So if you like that, I mean, hey, more power to you, but I personally don't. Anyway, let's look at the hands. These hands have a whole bunch of articulation. It has 4 fingers, like, you know, most cartoons do. So it has 4 fingers, you know, just the Exaforce droid arm pieces for fingers. That's what they commonly use for fingers in most of these mech sets, which is nice. And they can move up and down, of course you can. And it has a posable thumb-ish. You can kind of pose that thumb a little bit. It's not perfect, but you can pose it. So there's that. Not the grandest thing of all times, but you know, you can pose that, and you can move this, take the sword out of its hand just like that, because it is connected to a I don't know what that piece is called, but it is connected to a little, like, it's a bionicle piece. I can't think of the name right now. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's connected to that. Of course, it has arm, elbow articulation, and it has shoulder articulation to a degree, because I don't think it can go a whole 360, but it can go backwards. Maybe it can. Actually, it can, but this blades right here on the X kind of inhibits it moving to that, doing a whole 360. But it can if you just move this off, then yeah. But I don't want to, because that's not what I want to do. So, but same thing on this side, and it got the big blade. Yep, same articulation there, and that piece just fell off. That's really annoying. I don't even know where it fell at. I'm not gonna pick it up. But let's look at the interior. Look at the inside. Yeah, it's really hard to see in there, actually. It's like really dark in there. Look at the inside. You will have, oh wow, look at minifig in there. Wow, it fits a perfect minifig in there. Of course, it's not Nia, but there is a minifig in here, and it's kind of crazy. Let's pull him out, and you can see a lot of detail in there. It is really hard to get in there, actually. It is like one of the hardest things to show off. There is, it's just a sticker in there. It's two stickers in there. It's showing the controls of it. I don't know if you could see that. One side, and the other side, it has a picture of Samurai X and I think the 4 Ninja right there. It is really hard to show it because it is not a perfect, you know, viewpoint in there. It is really awkward, so it's a little hard to show that, but I hope that you can see it for what it is. So yeah, it's kind of awkward. Now that's something I will say, that the stability on this thing is really, really weird, because it has these little like orange rubber like pieces that you put on like tracks on a lot of sets, but it's in orange, and it can stand up mostly on most surfaces, but it's really like really awkward because the feet have these little like barriers. It has this on the, I think it has on the Zane's Titan mech, but I mostly remember this on Lloyd's Titan mech, and it's really awkward because it wants to like fall over so bad, because it's trying to pose up the feet and make it like articulate and be like it can stand, but honestly it really messes it up because now it wants to fall back, and you can't just angle the feet in a way forward for it can just hold up. It's just not working very well. So I don't personally really don't like that, because it makes it hard for it to stand, and then if you try to pose it anyway, then it's just gonna fall over because you can't pose the feet right. So it has knees, but the knees are limited, and then the feet are very limited as well. So it's not very good on stability, in my opinion. Some people say that it's good. I don't think it is. I think it's probably one of the worst. It's really, really, really awkward. But that is just me. I mean, if you have this set, I mean, let me know in the comments what do you think of that. But I think the stability is kind of wacky. So that's just how I feel about that. But I think that's all I really wanted to say on the mech. Let's look at the minifigs now. Starting with the first minifig, I'm getting the first two out of the way. That's like the ones you see in almost every set. And starting with the, I don't even remember the name of it, the Crystal Warrior, I suppose. And this is the same set we see in almost every set now. This one's just, it has one translucent arm and of course the one translucent leg, and it has the gunmetal gray arm. It's a really nice figure, but we've seen this fig 1,000 times over, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Nice dual molded head, really nice looking, nice blade. Okay, let's move on. And we have golden, not golden dragon, but just the golden variant of Jafe in his more primary outfit, which we've seen already in 2 other sets, so not too special here. The same thing we've seen. You're not getting anything new. It's just another way to get this version of Jay if you just didn't have it from the other set. You know, he's, well, actually in the cheapest set is actually the golden dragon version, which is a way better version, way better minifig to get honestly than this one. But I mean, it's not bad. It's just we've seen it already, nothing new. I don't only bother taking the mask off because you already know what he looks like. So yeah, nothing new. All right, here's when we get things get a bit more interesting. We have little Nelson. If you don't know that character, then I mean, I can't really blame you, but he has a more prominent role in the later seasons. But I mean, he showed up way back in like season 6 in Skybound, but he didn't make an official minifig until Day of the Departed when he was actually like the Purple Ninja. But yep, just little Nelson, you know, the kid that he always seen him get injured and hurt. You know, he was always like had a cast on his arm or his leg or whatever. But anyway, he makes another debut, well, not debut, but just another appearance in Lego form, in the set form, I should say. And now he has like this like jacket on, this dual molded hood and hat. I think that dual molded hood hat piece was from I don't know what wave that was from. I know what it is, but I can't think of the name right now. But it's a really nice piece. I really do like it. And you know, he has this flag that I think that's supposed to say, this is supposed to be like the letter R for resistance, of course. And then he has 2 turquoise green blue katanas, which is really cool. And then of course the short little mini dark legs, the ones that don't move. Personally, I really wish he had the kind, you know, the miniature legs but they can still actually move. That's the kind of the ones he should have, because he's actually supposed to be older here, but they just opted out to give him the short legs, which is kind of weird. But I mean, it's not too bad. And by removing that, he has a dual face, which is a super happy smiley face, which is, you know, because he's a kid, so I guess, you know, he has to have a happy face. But yeah, that's it for little Nelson. All right, now we're getting to the exclusive sets. Well, actually, little Nelson was exclusive, but I wasn't thinking about it. But here we have Sensei Wu in his very new and nice white looking robe here, and his golden armor with the same dragon armor they had back in the Hunted wave, which apparently this is supposed to be the same outfit, like his golden armor that he was supposed to have in the Hunted wave. But I think the one in that one was way better. All it has is just the armor piece, but apparently it's supposed to be an upgraded version. Quotations there. I don't think it's so much of an upgrade. I think the other one was way better, but it's still a nice minifig all around. Really nice. And he has the flag. Same thing Will Nelson had with the letter R for resistance. And it's a really good looking minifig. And if we start taking some of the stuff off, and here we have him without all that stuff, and you can see the really nice detail. I mean, it's a nice figure. I really do like it. And got that back printing, the nice symbol on the back. I don't know what it means. It's just the Wu symbol, so nothing much said there. And he has his braided ponytail, so no second face, unfortunately. He just has, you know, the little ponytail in the back. And his newer face, because it's his newer face with the little scruffy beard on his face. And this comes with no beard, and I know they're supposed to just, the armor's supposed to be like kind of his beard, because it's, you know, all whatever. But I personally just rather just have his actual beard, so I might just put that on him in this figure. But I don't know, maybe, I don't know, that's something I think about doing. But anyway, that is Sensei Wu for you. Now we finally have the minifig that is actually the whole set even about Nia herself. And she's sporting a brand new Samurai X outfit, which, you know, spoilers for Seabound. I mean, not Seabound, but I guess for Seabound, but more like crystallized, that she comes back and she loses all her power because the sphere actually take away her power, and she becomes Samurai X again, which is kind of cool. But I guess it's kind of weird because we already have a Samurai X, because it's Pixel. But anyway, it's a really nice outfit with the same color as the mech itself, with, you know, her belt is a darker red, even though I think it would look better if the X on the mech itself was a darker red at least. But I think it should have just been gray, but not too bad. On the back, just a nice printing. And the shoulder pads armor piece she has is from her Legacy Samurai X outfit, just in gold instead of red. But I think I like the Legacy version much more, because I think it's a really nice look. And of course, by taking off the helmet, you can see her face. It's the same one that we've seen for the past 5-6 years with the Ninjago movie, so you're not getting anything new with that. But just for if you're just curious to see what she looks like under the mask, that is what she looks like. And here we have the awesome, legendary Garmadon Oni form figure. Now a much better look of his Oni form than what we got in the what was it, Rise of the Oni season, that mini season that was like 4 episodes long, but there was an Oni form of him in that, and it looked so wacky and hilarious. But this is the actual official set version of it, and this is so much of a better design. This actually looks sick as hell. This looks so freaking awesome. I really do like this minifig. This is like probably one of my favorites out of all of Ninjago. No joke on that, because this is a crazy awesome minifig, and he's really nicely detailed and printed on his legs, belt, and on the back. He has the same symbol as Sensei Wu, and he is actually on the good guy side this time. He is actually a good guy. He's not trying to destroy Ninjago. He's just, trying to help out. Even though he's kind of a jerk about it, but still, this looks really nice. And if you take off that helmet piece, which is part of the, it's a samurai helmet with the Oni mask on it, just in case if you didn't know that. And it's just his legacy head. That's it. It's the one they got from the legacy version, which is not a bad one. But what makes this minifig pop to me is something I personally like to do, and I will show you real quick is how I personally like to have them. There we go. Look at that. That is how I personally like to have them, because I want to have his true Oni form where he has the 4 arms and the wings on the back. This is sick. This is how I personally like to have them. I mean, I actually keep them like this, no joke, keep them like this all the time, because this is just the way I like to have them, because I think this is the best way you can possibly have them, because it just looks so good like this. And too bad I don't have two more purple hand pieces for it, and I can give him like all his hands be purple, but it still looks nice. I'm gonna keep it like this. If you have this piece of Garmadon from the other sets, then I would recommend making it look like this, because it's the most accurate version of it. But that is it for Garmadon. And finally getting to the main villains of the set, and we have the Mechanic, and this is the second appearance in set form of the Mechanic, because the only other set that you can get the Mechanic in is in the City Garden set, which is a very expensive set. And if you don't have it, then that really does suck. This is a much cheaper way of getting him with the boiler hat and, just his face and everything. But he will have the crystallized armor. You'll not get, obviously, the other version, which is, I think, way better in the City Garden set. But if it's still way having the Mechanic, so it's a much cheaper way of getting them. But with that being said, let's take off his hat. And you can see his face. He has the purple eyes because I guess Crystal King's like, I don't know, controlling them. Anyway, no dual moded face, no second face, obviously, because he's wearing a hat and I don't think he has any hair. So yeah, so they didn't give him a second face, which I don't really think he needs, because this, not like he's really emoting that hard, other than just a snarky, evil face. That's it. So nothing much there, but we've seen this armor a couple of times now, but it still looks really nice. And he has the shoulder pads, the crystal shoulders on him, looks really good. And he has this robo arm with lightning coming out of it. This just to have his mechanized hand, because they don't just make a actual hand specifically like a molded arm suited for him. They don't do that for some reason. They don't just make that. But anyway, it's a nice minifig. I really like it, so let's move on. Yes, the Bendela Creme, the best minifig in the entire set. The main reason why I even wanted this set, no joke, hands down the best minifig. It is Pythor. He finally comes back in all of his purple and white glory. And this is a really nice minifig. I did not own the original white Pythor, which I still want to get. I do not have him in my personal collection so far, but hopefully one day I'll get that set he's in that. I think that Pythor was in, what set was that? That was the Samurai X Cave and the Day of the Departed set line, which is a very expensive set now, but I still want to pick it up. But anyway, there's still a nice way to get a Pythor, you know, a white Pythor, and it's still really good. And he actually has an exclusive mode, you know, printed on his tail on this one, so he has like the little like flap or whatever, but it's like loincloth, if you will. Looks really nice, and you can even see under that his like, you know, his snaky like markings on him underneath, so that's really cool to see. And his eyes are purple, actually, if you can see that. He has purple eyes just like the rest of them, so that makes this head a bit more exclusive. Even the gem on his head is purple, if you can see that, so that is really nice to see. It's a really nice exclusive minifig, and I think it's one of the best to ever see. And he has the nunchucks crystallized whatever, and you can see it's the little crystal blade and just the nunchucks they have added in this set. Even though the chest print is the same as the rest, so nothing new there. He has the crystallized shoulder armor piece, and yeah, it's nothing super crazy new about him on that part, but the rest of him is amazing. So yes, a really great minifig, awesome minifig. And I did not want to forget the little miniature creature that they have in this set, which is a really nice build. It's like a dragon thing creature, but it does not have eyes. This is just the same piece from the Evo wave of Ninjago with the dragon heads and crystal, the little like pieces, but it's like crystallized or whatever. And it's really good. And the mouth does not move, so there's no jaw function. It's just in this fixed position right here because it's really put on with an axle right there, so not getting much moving out of there. And you got these weird, I don't know, tusks. I don't know what you would call this, teeth. I want to call them tusks for some reason, but yeah, it's a really weird, interesting build. It actually has a bit of leg and feet articulation with these mixel joints right here, so that's really cool. And obviously it can flap its wings because it's on a ball joint right here, so it is on a ball and socket joint. You can flap them if you wish. And so look on the other side, it's pretty weird looking there. It's not like a crazy, you know, blow your mind build here, but it's decent. It's you know, it's a little side build to have something fighting against the Samurai X-Men and not just towering over them and they just have nothing to fight the good guys with, you know. I always like the villains having the bigger thing and the good guys having like the small thing to fight them because it makes the villain feel more opposing. But in this case, obviously this is what they have, so I mean it's decent enough. It could probably do some damage to them, but you know, it's good. So that's it on this. Now the final thoughts on this set. What do I think? I think this is a really okay set. I mean, I think it's good for what it is because it does have knees and you can it's kind of unstable to really play with, though. I think honestly, if you would have got this for a kid, I mean, there's gonna be so many pieces that are gonna fly off, and especially if they're like rough with it, it's gonna fly off. So it's hard to really say that, oh, this is a good play set for kids to play with. I mean, I guess if you don't mind the pieces flying off, then it's a great set. I mean, yeah, have at it, but that's with any set then if that's the case. But if you want an actual stable build and you still want to like play with it, then it's not really good. I mean, I don't play with my sets personally, but I, you know, just thinking of like putting myself in the kids' mindset, I would like to play with it and actually like, you know, play around with it. It's hard to really do that because the pieces fall off too much. So it's a good looking set, but for an actual set, I don't think it's great on that. I don't think it is because it's really hard to even play around with it because my hands are so big. And then trying to even move it, it's like pieces flying off the thing. So I don't know. I don't think it's the greatest on that, but I mean, it's still good. So I give it a score. It's probably gonna be like a 7.9. Like, it's good, but it's not as good. I think the Lloyd's Dragon is still by far the best set in the entire wave, and I seriously recommend that set. But this set, I say get it if you really like mechs, and the Minifig collection is superb on it though. Aside from like getting Jay again and the Crystal Warrior, but if you want if you want to build that Crystal King army, then I mean, if you get all the sets, then you got it, man. But and then the little side build is really good too. So I mean, honestly, I think the side build is like probably the best part, other than the mech, of course. I mean, that's the only other build, but I mean, I think the side build is honestly a bit more stable than the mech itself, which is sad to say because the mech is what you pay for, but yet the mech is kind of awkward to play with. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Tell me what yours is in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next whatever LEGO review that I do. And also, before I leave, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like, turn the notifications on, follow me on social media, which is only Twitter. That's the only thing I'm on. But aside from that, alright, been your host, Road to Motorhead, and I'll see you all in the next review.